Oh, really? Okay, well.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. We're GabNet, and we've got you covered live 5 nights a week. First Tuesday through Friday at 9:30 Eastern, it's The Exchange.
Harlan Ellison totally insisted that there were no sounds in space on Babylon 5. Watching it for 20 minutes will clearly show that there are sounds in space. So what the fuck are you pulling this out of, Mr. Harlan Ellison? That pretty much cemented the idea of who Harlan was in my brain.
Tuesday through Friday at 10 Eastern, join Alex Bennett on the Ramble.
You don't think Bill Clinton's a pervert?
No, I don't.
Go ahead.
No, I really don't. I think I think he's a man who let his dick talk for him. You know, I think he's a guy who was pursued by a young woman and should have said no, but he didn't. Now, the only woman I ever talked to that fucked Bill Clinton was Jennifer Flowers. She kept saying during the interview, you know, I really did have sex with Bill Clinton. And I asked her the question, I said, that's not what's important to me. What's important to me was he a gentleman? And she said, he was terrific. She said, every time we'd have sex, the next day he would call and see if I was okay. He never dodged my calls if I wanted to call him. He was an absolute gentleman.
Tuesday through Friday at midnight, The Intersection.
We now know that Trump doesn't hate all Democrats. He at least likes the Democrats who he perceives to be as crooked as he is.
Ah, wait a minute, ring that bell!
I mean, between Menendez and Blagojevich, you know, who he pardoned.
If you like sports, we've got that too, with The Arena, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
There's a lot of long-ass games come knockout round because they have to finish. So you have to play up to 120 minutes plus a penalty shootout. Kick.
Catch up on all the shows with our weekend flashback. All shows have the Citizen Panel, an exclusive concept of GabNet. It's new, it's daring, it's talk like you've never heard it before. Spotify has 180 million monthly users and access to 35 million songs and podcasts. Now, all those offerings are going to have to move over and make room for GabNet programming. Yes, at long last, Alex Bennett's Ramble, Damian Chaplin's Exchange, Jack Bishop's The Intersection, and even the franchise MC's Arena and Michael Snyder's weekly movie reviews will be fighting for space on this massive platform. Each day, the programs are updated, so you can hear them on the Spotify app, available for all smartphones and game consoles. Or you can just go to Spotify on the web at spotify.com. So, give us a shot on Spotify. There's a 35 million to 5 chance we'll get people to listen to talk like they've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey everybody, this is the Ramble, and hey everybody, this is Alex. You know what I didn't do? I got to do something here first before I put you on, because I have to bring up your camera, and I didn't check any of this out. My problem is I go away for like a week. And all of it. What?
I think it's more like 2 hours.
Hold on a second. I go away for like a week and a week and a half, and nothing works right. I forget completely how to make this stuff work.
Well, you are reaching that age.
What?
Am I on here?
Yes, you are. Look at this way. Look this way. Look at me. Turn sideways a little bit.
Well, put my leg up somewhere.
Boy, your hair is really curly tonight.
Well, it's going to rain.
Is that what happens? That's the
pre-rain hairstyle.
That's the pre-rain hairstyle? Well, anyway, let me go to the split screen here so everybody can see us together. Yeah, there we go. How's that?
It is. It is.
It is?
Yeah, my hair.
It is? Okay, yeah. Anyway, so that is my lovely and adorable wife. See, I just didn't know how to get everything going here. And then all of a sudden,
wife number 4.
I tried to play the music, and my jukebox didn't work, so I had to reboot it to make it go again.
Well, that's because you've been away for a couple hours.
A couple of weeks.
Hours.
But the last time I used it, it worked.
With you, it's a couple hours.
What's a couple hours?
That you forget everything.
No, it's not that I forget everything. What I'm saying is the damn jukebox, the thing that does stuff like...
Celebrating 4 years.
That. It wasn't working. I clicked on something like that, and it didn't go.
Hi.
So that was the problem that I was having.
Hi.
You don't care, do you?
I'm listening.
No, you're making faces at the audience. Oh, boy, am I glad you're back.
Aren't you? I fill up the gap, and...
What?
20 minutes.
20 minutes left. Yeah, before. Oh, geez, you're going to count every bloody minute of it. Anyway, so I got my problem is my basic problem is that
you forgot.
Yeah, I forget a lot of stuff. It's strange.
That happens.
You know, and so we haven't done this, and we haven't done this in maybe 4 weeks, something like that.
More than that.
More than that.
Because the accident was the 26th.
So I forgot to check to see even if that camera works, you know, but apparently it does. Move a little bit this way so you're more in the center of the picture.
And should I turn this around a little?
Yeah, if you want to. Do anything you want to. I don't care.
I know you know.
No, but you see, it's not moving.
Well, it's...
Because you're not moving the wire and back of it. Anyway,
it's fine.
So we haven't done this for about 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
The accident was on the 26th of November.
Yeah, so I didn't even check the camera to see that it worked, you know, and then I didn't check to see if the split screen would work, and then all that stuff. Hold on, I was thinking
Turn the sound off. No one wants to hear it.
Anyway, I'll be sneezing less once the cat leaves.
Turn that off.
Oh, really? You're saying turn off the fan?
Yeah, you made me turn it off. It's the bottom one.
I know, I turned it off.
No, you didn't. It's the bottom.
Oh, boy.
You went to the top.
I went to the bottom.
You went to the top. I saw you do it.
No, I did this one. Right there.
Okay.
Okay. Is it stopping?
Stop that black
What
thing.
is it? What is it?
Dirt.
No, it's not dirt. It's something that's not going away.
It's fading.
It's fading.
Yeah.
Maybe I stuck myself with a
Hat pin.
A pin or something.
Isn't that what he did? He put it in
Yeah.
the ear. She put it in the ear.
No, anyway, that's something we're watching.
It's over.
Anyway, what was I saying?
I have no idea.
Oh, so anyway, and then all the stuff I normally use with you is all down on the bottom, and I kind of have to move it up to the top. So
Bring me up to the top. I deserve that.
Anyway, it's working now.
Good.
And then when I started to try the show, the jukebox wasn't working, so I turned that, and then I got things wrong, and I had to start the whole show over again. It's.
What can I say?
What can you say? All right. What can
He's
you
at that
say?
age.
Huh?
He's at that age.
I'm at that age.
Yes.
What age is that?
We're, you know.
Huh?
You know. What's this?
What? What do you ask?
It's just sitting there.
Huh?
I didn't touch anything, but what is this?
What is it?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a cord, but what's it for? For this?
I guess. I would imagine.
Okay.
Hold on a
Open
second.
it up.
I have to turn something, delete something here. There we go. Now that's working. Okay. Are we recording? Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, we're okay. All right.
19 minutes.
Huh? What's with that 19
I'm
minutes?
just saying, I
Huh?
got my foot, it's weird. I needed to
Okay.
elevate it.
Okay, well, no, let's explain what happened to you.
4 people, tourists, at 53rd and 5th, were looking up.
This is what day?
This
When?
is on the 26th of November.
26th of November.
Right.
Okay.
And one of them backed up or put his foot out, tripped me, and I fell in the street and broke my knee. On the 30th of November,
You notice how that ding went off right as you were saying it, and I broke my knee?
Right.
Ding!
And the 30th of November, I had surgery. And now I've been in this brace since the 30th.
Yeah.
I'm still in it.
You had to go in, she had to go in the hospital and have an operation.
Right. They put pins and bolts and wire.
They literally put screws in your...
And wire. Did
and
you see
wire.
the picture of the wire?
No, I didn't see that.
It's kind of like a wiggly thing.
Oh, really?
Now then, I have, when the brace comes off, I have to go into
Physical therapy.
physical therapy and learn how to bend my knee because the muscles atrophy in that.
Well, no, it isn't that. It's also the work and everything else that's been done. It hasn't. You could put your leg in a brace for 6 weeks after it's through.
But your muscles atrophy, so you have to learn because they're not as strong as, let's say, my right leg.
They're not as strong as
So
your...
you have to learn from scratch.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, you'll have to learn how to walk again. And but the fact is, she can walk without a cane now.
Without the crutch, yeah.
Without the crutch.
Yeah.
But it's
It's painful.
Is it still painful?
Once in a while, like today was very painful.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean very? What number?
4 or 5.
Okay, because you kept
I was
saying
a 9-10.
You were 9-10.
Yeah. Well,
The night that you came home from getting the operation,
my leg was all swollen.
you were in extreme pain, and you were taking the pain medicines. I got to turn the fan on.
I got to go get a shirt then.
Why?
Because I'm cold.
Well, here, try this.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Oh, Jesus. This is
Okay, I'll put it
This
on.
is what I have to put up with. So anyway, she's been getting on the mend slowly but surely. And you're feeling better, aren't you?
Yeah, but now I have to catch up on almost a month of work
Yeah.
that I'm behind in the office.
Well, you were out from the office for more than about a week.
Oh, more than that.
Well, there was the week that you had the accident,
Right.
but then of recovery at home, you spent a week here, and then the next week you went in.
I did?
Yeah. You went in for a couple of days.
Couple hours.
And then you were lucky because then all of a sudden the Christmas holiday hit.
Right.
And
right.
You were, but
and my company's paying for me to take car service to and from.
Yeah.
Because I can't take steps. I can't do a bus. I
Yeah.
can't do the subway.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how was I as a nurse?
You were great. You took that nice pill that made you a nice
The
person.
gabapentin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had that up in Vermont, but that's another story.
I was taking another pill for the same thing.
That
but
made you
that
nasty.
Made me nasty.
Yeah.
One pill makes you nasty, and one pill makes you nice. So I was a.
You were great. You were great. You came through.
I came through.
I
Okay.
mean, it's not like when I had my spine operation.
Here we go.
and
Here
you
we go.
made
Here
me-
we go.
you
Here
made
we
me
go. Here
take-
we go.
You
know,
made me take
no,
a taxi
no, shut up.
from the hospital
Shut up.
because you
Shut up.
didn't want to take out and come all the way up the east
Shut
side.
up.
It's true.
Where you went downtown, right?
To your place at downtown.
My place downtown. And I said, can you get yourself into a car? And then I met you downstairs.
Yeah, I was in a wheelchair. They don't let you go until you're picked
Right,
up.
and they got you into the cab, so that's all that mattered. If I was there, I would have just done the same thing, put you in a cab. So then you got in the cab and you drove. Well, here's what happens, okay? This happened how many years ago?
I had the surgery in 9 or 10, 2009, 2010.
And okay, so we're talking about 8 years, 9 years.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. She has never forgotten this, and in spite of the fact
Hey.
that no matter how nice I was this time and how much I was there for her and how come every time she left the hospital, I was there to meet her and take her back home.
Except
What do you mean
Except when I had my spine surgery.
But don't we erase that? Or why do you hold that as some kind of female collateral?
Yes, we hold everything.
Really?
Yeah, we never forget.
No, you use it.
Well,
remember the time when I did? You know, that used to happen with who did that happen with? Well, Ronnie was pretty good at that. She could store that stuff up. Yeah.
I think most women can.
Yeah, they're good at. You're really good at that. Guys don't remember these things.
Well, that's right.
I don't remember every time you treated me in a shitty way.
Oh, let's not go there.
Oh, because you never treated me in a shitty way.
Oh.
Because you're so perfect.
For you, I am.
So anyway, you got better. You know,
I'm getting
what can I
better.
say? Huh?
I'm getting better.
You're getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can walk without the crutch.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So she's on the mend.
I'm on the mend.
Well,
but the doctor said 9 months till I'm 100%.
Yeah.
It's like next summer.
Now, to show you how absolutely vapid our life is, we've been cat sitting.
Oh, it's a highlight of our marriage.
We never had any children together, but we're treating her like she's a baby.
And she is so spoiled. As Natalia says, I gave you a kitten and you gave me back a diva.
Well, she's getting more of a diva
She
now.
is really more of a diva.
Now, and Natalia happens to be a vegetarian.
Well, only for the last year.
And she kind of forces Jack to be a vegetarian.
Except when they go out.
Except when they go out, then he gets to eat steak?
Yeah, or sushi or whatever he wants.
Yeah. So the cat the other day is begging.
Oh, I wouldn't mention this. Natalia, don't listen to this.
Well, she doesn't listen to the show.
Well, that's true.
But the cat was begging. Now, I know this cat always wants to smell any food you're eating, and then she goes, okay, I smelled the food, I'm happy. Okay?
You dealt it, I smelled it.
This cat, in the past at least, when we when did we, was it when we had turkey or something, and the cat just didn't even pay attention to it?
It was probably chicken, yeah.
Didn't he? And I never knew
walked away.
Never knew a cat in my life who didn't want chicken. I mean, if I got some frozen chicken and I put it on the sink to let it defrost, the cats would sit there waiting for it to melt. Okay, that's how crazy cats get over chicken.
Not this one.
Not this one.
Until
the other day.
I wouldn't discuss it over the.
Well, I was eating some chicken, and I said, you don't like this? Look. And I threw it down on the ground thinking she wouldn't.
She quaffed it down. Anyway, we love her. And we have taken so many pictures of her. I mean, she's crowded out everything else on my telephone.
On your iPhone. Yeah, I must have 20, 30 pictures I've
me
taken
too.
of her. But here are a few things that the cat does that is extremely precocious. She's a guest in our house, right? Do you know what her favorite room is to sleep in? The guest room.
And she loves the comforter, especially when it's folded because she can sink right in.
Yeah. But she's in there right now.
Yeah.
Unless she then wants to come in, then she'll do what she did the other night with me when I was in the bathroom. she will bang on the door.
And you said she was batting with my teddy bears?
Oh, what happened was she started getting a crazy kitty fit.
Yeah.
And she was on the comforter, and then she jumped straight up.
She does that on the scratch board.
And then she kind of looked at stuff, and then my feet were there, and she went over to my feet, and she started batting away at my feet with her paw.
She smelled them.
No. It had nothing to do with it. She started batting my feet with her paw, and then
9 minutes.
Then she went over.
I'm just saying.
They went over to your stuff. She went over to your stuffed animals and started beating up on them.
On the teddy bears.
Bap, bap,
not
bap.
on the Raggedy Anns.
Huh?
Not on the Raggedy Anns.
No, one of the teddy bears.
The teddy bears.
Yeah, it was like a foot or something of something. It was white, and she just hit it.
We have a scratch board that Natalia gave us, and she goes on there and scratches, and I'm watching, and she scratches, and then she jumps straight up, comes down, scratches again.
Well, you know what's in the end of that thing?
Catnip.
Catnip.
Yeah.
So what she's doing is she's reacting to the catnip.
I blew some grass in her face the other day.
No. No, don't do that.
I did.
No wonder the cat's been sleeping for 3 days now. Also, the cat has become very loving of us, finally.
Yeah, she hid all the time.
The other time she was here, she would always find
She's
a place
been
to
more
hide.
than one
She would
time.
never come up on the bed.
Right.
You know, and whenever she was going to sleep, she would sleep under the bed.
Under the bed. Be near us, but under the bed.
So we never realized how much she sleeps until she started sleeping on top of the bed. And this cat, you know, it's like, we looked it up. We asked, I'll ask Echo. Echo, how many hours a day does a cat sleep?
Adult cats typically sleep between 13 hours and 14 hours every day. Kittens sleep more on average, around 18 hours every day.
Kittens?
Kittens.
Wow.
Well, they're like babies. They're young.
But 14 to last time I asked her,
it was 14 to 16.
She said 14 to 16. Wait a minute, let me ask her again.
No.
Echo, how many hours a day does a cat sleep?
Adult cats typically sleep between 13 hours and 14 hours every day.
She's going down.
She changed,
yeah.
didn't she?
Around 18 hours every day.
Echo, why do you keep changing the amount of time that a cat sleeps?
Echo, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're confusing.
I'd rather not answer that.
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Hmm?
Should I come over? Because coming over is part of the 7 minutes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't start 7 minutes at it. I outed my finger. I don't know what I did. I hit it or something. Or
Probably when you were banging the cable.
Well, I put in cable last. I put in my Ethernet cable into the guest room because the other one just went bad for some reason, and I got a new one. Now I'm getting great speeds in there.
How about in the bedroom?
The bedroom's slower. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I could relay the wire again.
No, it's fine.
I don't want to take the chance.
No,
really
it's
screw
fine.
It up. So, anyway, so I have the trouble is with these pills. I don't know. Maybe I should just stop taking them.
But then you're grumpy.
I don't care. They make me loopy.
But you were so nice when I broke my knee.
Because here I have to do simple tasks: A, do B, do C, do D.
Well, I told you should have a checklist.
No, but what do? I got to do this, and I got to
A, B, C, because you're forgetting the order.
I've got to go boom, 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 boom.
Well, since you're forgetting,
and
maybe
I
just
can't
write it
look
down.
at a list while I'm doing.
So you have it taped.
No. Oh boy, you don't understand. You don't understand the first thing about doing something like this.
No, I've had other challenges.
Like what?
Painting.
Painting?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not easy.
But if I said to you, you go to me, well, I forgot exactly how to paint. I go, well, why don't you make a list? You would tell me to go fuck myself, wouldn't you?
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck myself. Right. So anyway, so what have I not mentioned all day?
I'm not even going to mention it. Phil, call in and help me out on this one.
What? Why?
Because I'm just saying.
I'm all panicked.
You're always in a panic.
About this test.
Well, it's going to be the last time you take it. So look at it that way.
Why? Because I'm going to die after that?
No, but at your age, you don't have to take it anymore.
I'm going to tell them I'm not going to take it.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, unless it's bad, and then we got to take it again in order to find out if it got worse. You
And
know?
then we have to get you a bag.
Well,
It depends. Extra
yeah,
large.
you're looking for the day when you can really go to Costco and yell that out, and I will have to yell back, yeah, I think I'm coming close. Let's get a box. But who needed them before I did?
That's when I was sick the whole month of December last year.
Yeah, you peed your pants. How
Well,
was that being sick?
You made me laugh, and things happen.
And so you started wearing
Only during that time when I was
these
sick.
female ones with the flowers on them?
I didn't see flowers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were like leaking like crazy.
Because you made me laugh, and when I laugh, I was sick.
No, but you were just peeing for the sake of peeing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 minutes. I'm coming over.
That's not like, just stay there. Or I'll tell them when you sharted. So just to stay there. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, get it ready because it's 4 minutes.
You know, it's rough enough when you're a young man and you live with a woman and they have things that they do, okay? That maybe they fart or they do something and you have to live with that, right? They have to live with your farts too. When you get to be our age, that's all magnified.
Of course.
It's just like the farts smell worse.
Everything.
And the peeing in the pants is not just because you laughed once in a while and it accidentally happened. It's because it's now a constant condition.
Well, I don't have that yet. Anyway, it's 3 minutes.
Why couldn't I have married you when you were young? Oh, what did I get? I got a message.
I wouldn't have liked you.
Phil Meyer says, wait a minute, hold on a second. It came up on my watch.
So put your glasses on.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Philip?
Phil said, Marjorie, I can't call. Skype line is not open. I see. The Skype line is not open. All right.
Good. I'm rolling over.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
No.
Wait a minute. I got to turn on the Skype
Also,
line.
turn it on.
Well, turn it on and turn on the Skype line.
Put us in a single frame.
Boy, let me see here. Okay. So I'll do that. All right. Okay.
Look, this version will be discontinued.
Huh? Well, that's been up there forever.
Okay.
She's talking about that. This version of Skype will be discontinued soon. It was discontinued a long time ago. So, anyway.
Okay.
Are you just going to sit over there? You're going to come over here.
But you have to make
Okay, Phil, you can call now.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't move my ball away.
I'll move it.
Oh, you know what? You have a hard time sitting next to me because
it's my leg.
Yeah, it's your leg. Just move the chair back. You can move back a little bit.
Okay.
There we go. And then move over, I guess. Yeah. Oh, Jeff Stein is the first one to call
Jeff, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me put them. Let me put them on screen here. Here we go. Wait a minute. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right. There. Yeah,
I have a brace to show you.
Oh, how you doing, girl? You're amazing. I can't believe you're working with all this craziness.
I lost so much time, and usually in December
they can't hear you that well.
I look because you have it all facing you like normal.
Okay, here we go. There we go.
Because in December I usually use some of that time to get ready for the next year. I didn't have any of that, so I've fallen behind, work-wise.
Yeah.
They got to cut you some slack, right?
Oh, they have
to.
I take a car service to and from.
That's good.
They're paying for it. I can't take steps.
No.
I can't bend my knee.
Really?
I have the hiccups.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to come see you. There's one time right after surgery, I thought I was coming into the city, and then my plans changed. My mom was in the hospital too, so I was like, oh, crazy time. But that was after you did.
When we canceled, I felt so bad, but it was really.
For Pete's sake, I almost gagged when I saw that picture. I was like, okay, you didn't have to show me that. I'm okay. I didn't suspect anything. I was all happy.
So. Well, it was a pretty good experience.
Actually, she looks very healthy tonight because her hair is so.
Because it's going to rain tomorrow and it's frizzy.
Her hair is so fluffy. Let me see here. There's Charlie Wallace is calling, and Phil is calling.
Is that Phil? There he is.
Oh, they're all piling in.
Yeah, they're all piling in.
Yeah, you said I had 4 minutes. I went and put some hot water in the microwave and to make some tea. I come back, and Jeff's beat me to it.
I just wanted to say hi to Marjorie. That's all.
No,
sorry.
stay there. It's good to see you.
No problem.
Because it's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Me too.
But
I just want to say hi to Marjorie. I'm going to let the guys do their thing.
Okay.
Good night,
Yeah.
everybody. Happy New Year, guys.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Take care of yourself, Marjorie.
I'm trying.
Hi, Marjorie.
Hi. How you doing?
Remember Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie got a haircut.
I sure did.
Yeah. Looks nice.
Whole bunch of them.
Whole bunch of them since we talked to him last. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everybody's looking good.
Yeah, you're looking no worse for the wear.
No, actually, she's
I
looking.
love your hair.
Yeah, well,
It's going to rain tomorrow, so it's.
It went frizzy
It goes
for
frizzy.
her. Wait a minute, let me get out of
good
let me
frizz.
get out of Rob Alfano's face here.
Hi,
Hold on.
Rob.
Here
Hey,
we
how
go.
are you, Marjorie?
There we go.
Healing slowly.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
and
Thank
she's got a stiff leg. You know, she's got this brace.
It goes from here all the way, from my thigh all the way down to my
A
ankle.
week from Monday it comes off.
Well, we hope.
What do you mean you hope?
We hope that he lets me take it off.
Well, he said that's 6 weeks in this brace, and then that's it. You
But
know,
we'll see.
and then you don't get my pity any longer.
And then I have to learn how to bend my knee.
Then I go back on the nasty pills.
I don't know if retraining muscles the way they're retraining the muscles in my body would work for you, but I've been going to a Rolfer. And,
I went to Rolfing years ago.
I feel
so
much
painful.
better.
I found it very painful.
But that has nothing. It's not the
no,
same.
because it retrains the muscles. What they do is they move the muscle and they retrain it, and they do
Yeah,
what
but this is a
she's
different
trying
thing.
to do in
The
physical
reason-
therapy.
No, but you don't understand the reason why her leg she'll have to do exercise and stuff is because basically with the operation and everything, it's very stiff. And she has to then exercise to get it moving.
And learn how to bend it again.
It's not
'Cause
that
muscles
it's not that-
atrophy.
well, I don't think it's that the muscles.
No, they said that.
Who said that?
The doctor.
The doctor didn't say that. I was there.
Oh.
He said that you'll need physical training because your leg will be very stiff. Anybody who's ever had a knee problem, and I don't know if anybody here has had them, but has said that when they went through this for like 6 weeks afterwards, your leg has a hard time bending.
I think it does because the muscles are tight.
Well,
because
they
they've
atrophy
atrophied.
too.
Well, who died and made you a fucking doctor?
Look, the deal is, have you ever known anyone that's broken their arm?
Yes, me.
And it's been in a cast for I don't know how long, 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Long time.
Well, their muscles atrophy when it comes out of the cast. One arm is skinnier than the other arm.
That's true.
Can I put a cast on my body?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, body cast.
I just need, what are those things? Those chastity belts? I need one around my
mouth.
around my mouth so I don't eat.
Yeah. Maybe so you don't talk.
Nah, they got holes in them.
No, but it isn't so much the atrophying.
It is.
I mean, yes, you're going to need to get the muscles going again, but it's because the bending is difficult because you have some hardware in there now.
And you haven't Bennett in 2 months.
Well, then I started. How
hello.
you said
By the way,
rolfing
hello
was
to
painful?
Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, Jason. I got this foam roller that has nubs on it.
I have one of those.
And when I started using that,
Yeah.
the rolfing was nowhere near as painful as it was prior to the use of that.
I use that on the floor. I do my back, my neck with it. It's great.
Yeah, it is. It took me a while to get around to it because it hurt in the beginning.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't hear the cat is not knocking on the door.
She's sleeping and the door is open.
Yeah, the cat's gotten to the point where she doesn't even give a shit about us anymore.
Yeah, we fed her. We took care of her. That's it.
She figures we weren't going to beat her, so
and she's going home tomorrow.
Yeah,
and we're going to miss
that
her.
the usual attitude of cats? They
It
don't
took
give
her
a
a
shit.
while. We've been taking care of her off and on for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
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 And it's taken her a while. The first time she
this
didn't
is
come out of...
This is the first time she's really been comfortable with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now she's used to going to Aunt Marjorie and Uncle Alex's
That's
house.
right.
Yeah.
It's like going to camp.
But
Because our apartment's so
I don't
large.
know. We're going to have to get a cat or something. Because I loved having another living, breathing thing
but
here during the
because
day.
I work, it'll end up being your cat.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Cats are easy. They can't be any easier to take care of.
Yeah, cats are easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to go out down to the street and walk it 4 times a day.
Pick up the shit.
Yeah, and they poop in their box.
Yeah,
you know,
cats are easy and they're great. They're great company.
Yeah.
Then the apartment starts stinking from cat litter.
Not this cat litter.
No, the technology of cat boxes has so improved.
Rob has one of these cat boxes.
I'm going to take you over to mine now and show it to you.
I told another friend about that.
And I'll tell you, my cat, I just have a regular old-fashioned thing full of cat shit too right now.
There it is on the floor.
The kitty litter that you use is, I don't smell my stuff. And when I do,
look at what
I
he
forgot
got.
to
Let
change
me put this
Rob's egg.
Let me make the screen big here for people so that they can. There we go.
That's a litter box.
Yeah,
is there
That's
cat
the
in
litter
there?
box.
That's a
There's a
high
cat
tech.
in there.
Can you make it work? So can you make it rotate? Yeah.
Okay.
And Alex always wanted to do paint drying. This is better.
So look at that. So what is it doing now? Explain.
So what would happen here normally is the cat would go in and do its business, and then about 7 minutes later, as soon as the cat leaves, this thing cycles and can you see the litter inside?
Yeah.
You see the little net kind of like the mesh?
Yeah. It falls in there.
The litter is going through the mesh. This is clumping litter. It takes all the clumps and all the poop, and the litter is going underneath now, right? It's going through that mesh.
Yeah.
And at some point, you'll see, coming up in just a couple of seconds here, you'll see a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there were any waste in here, can you see that hole?
Yeah.
Bam, it gets dumped right down there. Underneath this step here, you pull that out, that's a drawer. It's got a garbage bag. It's got a regular kitchen garbage bag in it.
Uh-huh.
And it
everything
dumps,
falls
boom.
into that.
Now, the goes back the other way.
Yeah.
And it resets itself.
How often do you have to
but how does it get litter back in it?
Well, you'll see now. It's the exact same. The litter isn't removed. It's underneath.
Oh.
It's in that globe. It's because it's sifted. Only the crap is getting.
That's
now
not a cat sitting in there.
You'll see as it comes back in, the litter will actually just filter right back in.
How often do you have to clean that tray out?
Once a week, you pull this out and you cinch it, throw it in the garbage pail.
Is there any smell from the tray?
No. Well, no, not really. And they give you filters. There's charcoal filters that you put in there, and now you see the litter coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
Is the cat in there now?
No.
No, the cat. It doesn't. It would stop if the cat jumped in.
Oh.
Oh, and
There's
so
safety
now the litter is
mechanisms
coming
built in.
back in.
Oh, there it is.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And not only will it come back in, you'll
I
see
see some. I saw some poop there,
It
though.
was a black dot.
From system.
That must have been prior to the 7 minutes that the cat had left.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Well, see, even on mine, I have a regular tray, but I buy these sifter bags.
There's no poop in there.
So,
It's clean. There's nothing in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Now, he's even got one other interesting thing. He's got a feeder that the cat has something. Rob has it. A cat has something on his collar, walks up to the feeder opens, and the cat gets the food. I guess the other cat was eating the one cat's food. And
but what's happening? The baby was eating all the
grown-up stuff.
My old lady's cat's food, and so we had to put a little charm around her neck, and it's like a
bell.
No, it's not a bell. It's just a little charm, and there's a little like
sensor?
a little RFID or sensor on it that it recognizes her. When she goes in front of the dish, the door opens.
Oh.
If the other cat goes in front of the dish, the door doesn't open.
Ah, okay.
well, that would keep in New York. You got a lot of rodents, things like that. That would keep them out of the dish.
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
You know.
Yeah. Yes.
It works really well. They last. They're not cheap, but those things last. I have 2 of them. I have one upstairs because I have 2 cats now. But Maxie,
Do they each go to their own box?
Well, Marjorie, tell them about the box that Natalia brought. It has a
litter that doesn't smell, and it's got where she could pee, and it goes.
It goes through the bottom of it onto a pad.
Right, and then the poop stays on the top, and I put it in the toilet.
And you sift that.
Right, goes right in the toilet.
But it and then
no smell.
Then if it starts to smell from the pee, you just simply change the pad. That's all.
But you only left us with one.
All I have to do is take my dog out, walk her, rain, shine, cold, warm. The dog poops on the grass. I have a little bag. I pick up the bag.
Yeah, but you got to walk the fucking dog. The cat does this in the house.
Right.
Yeah, but she doesn't poop in the house, and I don't have to smell it.
Yeah, I don't smell it here. Nobody walks in the house.
We don't smell this poop with this thing.
No.
Yes, Jason had his hand up.
Jason had his hand up. So you have two cats, and does each one know which box is theirs?
They use any one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
So mine's even easier. It's cheaper. It's just a sifter bag. So once a week, I take the sifter bag. Try it once a week. Take the sifter bag out. All stuff just sifts down to the next bag. But I was curious. I thought I heard you talking about with your cats losing teeth or something before. Like my cat, its breath stinks so bad. It smells like rotting flesh.
You need to take it to the vet.
But she still eats her solid food.
Yeah, but she may have gum problems.
Dangerous for the cat. Is swallowing all that poison. That cat needs to get her teeth cleaned, and there's rot in there. And that might means like my Maxie, my older cat, she's had like 3 teeth extracted.
Wow.
Because if they go too much, if you don't get them cleaned, like every
she's like 12 years old.
Well,
it's because of the healthy
smell. That's that smell.
Rob, it's because of the Healthy Paws insurance. We found our dog on the freeway, and she had problems, and we had to have teeth pulled, things removed from her gums. One of them was $1,500, the other was $800.
And the insurance doesn't cover shit.
Covered it.
Nothing.
Yeah, they have insurance now.
I know, but it doesn't. It's like our.
Well, how much does the insurance cost a year?
Now I'm at $36 a month.
I'm at $30 a month.
And I had no problem whatsoever. They covered. The only thing they don't cover is maintenance. But this wasn't maintenance. This was, surgery, and the other things that happened with it. And so this plan was really good.
Essentially for about $160 a year, your cat is health.
It's more than that.
It's a little more than that.
No. All right, 30.
It's like $30.
Excuse me, $360 a year. You're taking care of your. Didn't I figure that one out right? Yeah.
No, but the thing is, you won't have to put them down because it's going to be $5,000 or $10,000 for some sort of cancer thing.
Right.
And I don't know. I love this dog, but I don't know if I'd spend $10,000.
Well, I had to put a cat down, but that was simply telling him that the dog was better.
And with that, I'm going to wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And hopefully the next time I see you, my brace will be off.
Yeah.
We'll be dancing around.
And I'll have prostate cancer.
Of course. Happy New Year, everybody.
Anyway.
Bye.
Good night. Good night. Now get the fuck out of here. As you're leaving, let me just go to my camera here. I want them to see your. Maybe you can show them your thing here. Wait a minute. You got to go over there though, because that's where they would see you. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. Now,
she's wearing the Gabnet garb. You really can't see it.
It goes up to here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It goes all.
They don't do plaster of Paris casts anymore, huh?
Yeah, then you can't sign it.
They don't do plaster of Paris casts now. That's what they do.
They do braces.
They do braces. Yeah.
It's actually better because that probably doesn't itch like a plaster of Paris.
Right, but you can't autograph. You can't put your name on it. You can't sign your name to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, good night, dear.
Good night, dear.
Okay, bye
Give me your shirt back.
You can pin a business card to it.
Huh? Yes, Patrick.
Speaking of the plaster of Paris cast, one of my fondest memories from childhood when I had a number of surgery done on my leg when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
With some bowed legs, and so they had to break them and get them straight. But I had casts that were all the way up to my hips.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest feelings in the world was when you'd take a piss and your dick would get stuck on the plaster and how it burned. That burning feeling I can feel right now as I'm telling you that plaster and penises do not mix.
Are you bragging? I thought that was an ankle cast, and that means that it had to be pretty long to reach down there.
I haven't thought about that until just now when you brought it up. I haven't thought about that for years. So thank you for bringing that.
You know, Patrick, you've lived most of your life with many different medical problems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alex, you've lived your life thinking about many different.
Worrying that I was
problems.
going to get them. Yeah. So but maybe this time I got something. Who knows? We'll find.
You can always hope.
You can always hope. Yeah. Yes, Jason.
So I have to tell you, I just actually got done probably an hour before I came on here watching 3 Still Standing with Bubs and Will.
And Will.
I could not believe, like, I listen to Bubs on your show all the time, but listening to like parts of his sets, that guy is funny as hell.
Yes.
I cannot believe that he hasn't become bigger than what he is. I was laughing, I was rolling, I was laughing my ass off.
Where do you watch that?
It's on
Amazon.
Was it on Amazon? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called 3 Still Standing.
I thought it was called Still Standing, and I was looking that up, and some other comedian in Canada talking about little podunk towns that are dying, and then I had to look it up, and I was 3 Still Standing.
No, I mean Bubs. The problem with Bubs is a very funny comedian in clubs, but if you can see him on television, his facial expressions are incredible. And he sells it with his face. And I realized he was a good comedian. I didn't realize how good a comedian until I saw him do Letterman, both the first and second time. That when they got a close-up of his face while he was doing his comedy, that sold it.
Yeah, I think the funniest was he said something about, look at me, E.T. and Rain Man had a baby. It was just so funny.
I
There's
got
Bubs.
a first for this one.
Yeah.
This is Bubbles. I called it Comedy Whisperer.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give that to him when I see him next.
Yeah.
And they're totally making fun of him the whole time about having dial-up and a flip phone and all that stuff too. I thought that was cool as hell.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked to him a lot about. I've offered him one of my iPhones, and I said, all you have to do is go out and get internet service in your home.
Well, he doesn't have to get internet service in his home to have a cell phone.
Well, he needs it to get all the apps and do things like that.
Well, he
can
get
do it
unlimited cellular.
What have I told him?
He doesn't have internet in his house?
I told him to go out and just talk to AT&T and find out how much it would cost to turn the phone on. But he won't do any of the things.
How does he post all his stuff to Facebook?
Dial-up.
Does he post stuff to Facebook?
He's got a Facebook thing, and he's on it.
Maybe he's got someone who does
Maybe
that for
he's lying to me.
I'm sure Facebook doesn't take too much.
Are you a Facebook friend of his? Larry Brown?
Of Bubbles? No, I don't think so.
I am, so let me look.
Wait a minute. Let me. I'll look here. I'll see. Wait a minute. Larry Bubbles Brown. Let's see here.
No Bubbles. Just Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. Okay. Yeah. Yep. He is a friend of mine. Let me see here. So. Okay.
It's pretty sad today. You got to look at your computer to see if somebody's your friend.
What would have been sadder is if you had to look at my page to find him.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Bubs is a funny guy. He's a very funny guy. And I love him too. But that whole thing about him being the ultimate Luddite is true. I mean, he still has a flip phone.
Yep, they showed it on it.
If he wants to send a text, he has to if he wants B, he has to push A twice. Yeah. One twice. Remember when you used to have to do that? I mean, it'd take you a year to send a sentence.
I never sent any text messages when I had a flip phone.
Listen, I don't even.
My daughter did, but I refused to.
How many here with their phones and they send texts? How many of you actually type it out, and how many of you do what I do, and that's dictated?
99% of the time, I type it unless I can't spell it, and then I dictate the word.
I only dictate it when I'm driving.
I dictate it all the time.
The dictaphone.
Apple CarPlay does a great job. It'll alert me that there's a message. Do you want to hear it? I say yes. It then reads it to me, and it says, "Would you like to reply?" And I say yes.
What comic
and then
book?
It says, "What would you like to say?" And then I just say it. It repeats it. Do you want to send it? Send it. And it's thanks. Done.
Who is the comedian? I'm trying to remember his name now. Who the line is? Do you know how to use a dictaphone? No, I use my finger like everybody else.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But anyway,
wasn't Georgie Jessel?
No, it was, what's Dom Herrera? That was Dom Herrera, another one of the funniest men who ever lived that you never heard of. Okay, but I mean, his act is just like that, one line after another like that.
So who was the Steele guy? Because you saw the same.
Steele is an asshole. He's the guy.
Like he's a nice guy, but
he's the guy that weaseled me.
Was he a disc jockey?
He weaseled himself into my job when I left at Live 105. They gave him the job.
Who had the same.
Yeah, he lasted about a month, I think, or something like that, and that was it. You know, but he was a real weasel.
Just like that, I guess maybe I didn't see as much of his comedy or appreciate it because I was like, he's a comedian.
Well, he wasn't as good as the other two. I mean, Bubbles is a terrific comedian, and Durst is very accomplished at what he does. You know, and Steele just knows how to steal a radio show from you. That's about it.
Now, was Durst the one that his wife got hit by a car in Mexico?
No. That's Bobby Slayton.
Okay, so then is that Durst's wife still in? That was in that documentary.
Yeah, that's yeah. Huh. That's Mrs. Durst. That's Debbie.
Yeah, she's a comedian too.
She is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's responsible for the Robin Williams Meadow being named that in the Golden Gate Park, where they do the comedy show every year.
Yeah, and she does. She really pretty much handles that show now, the Comedy Day celebration in the park.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's I mean, but these are guys who've been around a long time and never really seen any great amount of fame. And although Durst works it, Durst works it, but Bubbles is he's not aggressive, right? And God knows he works enough considering he doesn't go out and try and find the work. Yeah.
And he doesn't want any pictures of him now. He only wants to use earlier stuff. I don't understand why.
An ageist thing?
He doesn't look too much different.
Well, show that picture of him again, because there's something you got to know. This guy, it's not the Gonzo, the guy in front of him, right? That's Gonzo, right?
Behind.
Yeah. That is a face made for being a supporting actor, isn't it? I mean, he's got a quality to him that he could be used, and a lot of these people just don't. They're not aggressive, If Durst, I gotta say, Durst gets up every morning, looks at his calendar, and if he sees a blank spot on it, he then works his ass off to try and fill it. Bubbles, on the other hand, wakes up, sees a blank space on his calendar, and goes, "Oh, I've got a night off." I mean, it's a matter of how aggressive you are. There are a lot of comedians who are terrible, who do very well, and it's because they're very aggressive at it. It's not something you just say. You can't get this idea that if you're just really good at what you do, fame is going to find you. It just doesn't happen.
Did anybody see the Gilda Radner special on CNN?
No.
Yeah, well, part of it.
It was good.
On what?
I enjoyed it.
Where was it?
Said CNN.
CNN, yeah.
CNN. When did they run that?
They ran it New Year's night at about 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And they keep promoting it, so they're running it all month, I guess. But it was really good. It took you through her childhood, all through how she got into comedy, through her beginnings at there was one before Second City that she was involved in. Then she got to Second City, wound up at SNL. She was the first person actually hired by SNL.
Yeah.
And through meeting Gene Wilder and then getting sick, and really a great special.
Yeah, I liked her. I always thought she was very accomplished. I thought she was very accomplished. It's a shame, though. I don't think she had the career she would have had she not had sickness. I mean, she really kind of only got to a certain level, and
she
couldn't get beyond.
Gave it up. Like she felt overwhelmed. Right around the time she left Saturday Night Live, she was depressed. It talks about it in the special. She suffered a lot. She was one of these people that felt a lot of pressure, and she lost herself.
Didn't she have cancer?
This was after. The cancer was after. Then she had a comeback on Gary Shandling's show. She made an appearance on there, and she had like this comeback after she was sick. But the reason she disappeared was because she just couldn't handle it. It wasn't,
I'm trying to remember if I've seen this special before, or is this just
brand new?
This one's brand new because I've seen one on.
It premiered New Year's night. Yeah, it premiered New Year's night.
Yeah.
Is it on demand?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe not right now. It's just a couple of days old, but it will be very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can go steal it somewhere and watch it.
It was very good.
It was good.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm.
Hey, before you get to the politics and stuff,
I thought we talked for the next hour about my fact that I'm having the blood test on Monday. I thought we'd talk about that for the whole last hour of the show.
We talk about Amazon, how it's taken over the world, and how it's bad, and I'll tell you what.
What?
They could take over the world as far as I'm concerned.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Why?
Because every time I turn around, I have another experience with Amazon that just makes me feel really good. So, you bought that NAS, I bought a NAS, right? And we bought the drives, those $89 4 terabyte drives, right? So I had one go bad.
Really?
Yeah. I had it in the NAS for about, 10 days or so. And then all of a sudden I come in one morning and I see that the red light on the drive. So I pulled the drive out. I reseated the drive. I tried everything I could. The drive was dead. Luckily, it's in a RAID group, so you don't lose data.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah.
So I reach out to the vendor that we bought the drives from, and they want me to send back the drive, and then after they receive it, they'll send me another drive. And I said, bullshit. This is a RAID group. I'm not playing that crap. You send me the drive immediately, and then I'll set. What am I going to do with the bad drive?
Did we get them from a third party?
Yeah, it's called DR something. I can't remember. So I got pissed off, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I took all my data off the drives, and I said, I'm returning them, and I'm going to get these drives elsewhere. So I sent them in nastygram saying, I'm done with you. I want these drives. You get 30 days, right? I'm returning them. I took my data off of everything. I shut it down, right? And I was like, okay, good, I'm done. Then I called Amazon, and I got Amazon on the phone, and I said to them, because I was trying to do it via the web, and then I got a message that said this drive is not available for refund, and I got on the phone with them, and I spoke to a woman, and she said to me, don't worry about it at all. She said, just contact us. You're our customer. And we don't want you to suffer with these things. We'll take all 3 drives back, no questions asked, and there'll be new drives there Monday. I'll have them to you on Monday. And I was like, she said, just don't sweat it. Don't worry about going to the vendors. You come to us. You're our customer. This is the woman. This is, yes. This is, now this is not, I didn't have to be escalated to anybody. These regular customer service people who you could tell she was from another country, right? She wasn't any supervisor. She said, I will take care of this for you. I'm so sorry this happened to you. End of story. Monday, the drives will be at my door. You can't beat Amazon. I'm
Monday,
sorry,
the drives were at your door, I trust.
Monday, this happened tonight. Monday, the drives will be at my door.
Wow.
You know, it's like Costco
wait a minute, hold on a
and
second.
Nordstrom's.
Wait a minute. Patrick has his hand up.
Yeah.
He's had it up for a while.
I had, this is nowhere near quite the experience, but I ordered a book, and I ordered a paperback version of the book, and I was somehow charged for a hardback, and I didn't really notice it. I got the book, and it was paperback, and I went to check again the price. It didn't seem right, so I called them, and they refunded me $5 on it, and they only needed to refund me like $3 on the damn thing. And it was credit. It wasn't to my account, my bank account, but just credit right there at Amazon. And I turned around the same day and I bought some other shit with that extra $5. And the woman told me, just like with you, Rob, no problem, you know, just that, you know, I'm glad you called. And it was, again, through a third-party vendor, and I didn't even realize that. And she said, "It's $5, okay?" And I'm thinking I'm just going to get the different, you know, the $3, whatever. I said, great. So, yeah, they can take over the world.
I'll tell you something, though. The bar is being raised. At my company, I belong to a buying group, and we have an agreements with our suppliers. It's called the Beautiful Guarantee, and only we have it. And what happens is, if we put the floor in, and our average sale is $5,000, so if we do a $5,000 job, $10,000 job, and you're not happy with it for any reason, including color, style, you pick another one. We'll not only change it, we'll also pay the labor. The customer pays nothing. So if you got a $20,000 floor and said, and even ceramic tile, and you're not happy, you said, I don't like the color, I went on The Price is Right, I got new furniture, this doesn't go with it, you got 120 days.
Okay, but that's, it's not exactly what we're talking about here. However.
No, it's raising the bar of customer service.
Well, here, no, but let me explain something.
Satisfaction and service.
Because Rob and I have had a very similar experience here, in that we both bought RAID drives at the same time. I don't know how many discs go into your RAID drive.
3.
4. I bought the one that takes 4. Right. Okay, so first of all.
I got the one that takes 5.
Did you set it up for RAID 5 or RAID 3, or are you mirroring the drives? Or
RAID 5. RAID 5.
Dude, this is a month-long conversation.
So I bought 16 terabytes of drives, and I'm getting 10 out of it. You know,
16
but
terabytes,
anyway, let me finish what I was saying. So I buy it on Amazon through this third party, and they. Send it to me.
You got it on something else. It wasn't Amazon. Oh, no, wait a minute.
I know what I bought it through, Phil. I bought it on Amazon, but
Rob had this site.
Will you let me
sent
finish?
him the link,
no,
but it was an Amazon link.
Phil, I ordered on his site and then Woot, and then I said forget it, because I realized that on Amazon I could use my American Express rewards points and get a better one for nothing. Okay, yeah. So anyway, so I had these people. I ordered it. Each day I check to see when it's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be here on Friday. Finally, it says it's been delivered, and I go to my front door, and it's not there. And I go down to my lobby, and it's not there. And I go back to all the other lobbies in the apartment building, and it's not there. What it is this third party shipped by UPS, but the last leg of that ship is done by USPS. And they are so fucked in my neighborhood. I don't know where this thing wound up, but it wasn't in this building. Okay, so what happened was, I see your hand, Jason. I'll go to you next, but it's going to take a little time here. So I finally called this company and I said it never arrived, and they said, okay, well we'll return the money to your card, which they actually didn't do immediately.
Didn't they ask you to wait till Monday?
Well, no, they asked me to wait till Monday, and I called them on Monday. I said it hasn't arrived yet, and they said fine, we'll take care of it for you. And in the meantime, I just said cancel it, and I went down to B&H, who had it for $20 less. Okay, and I bought it at B&H.
You bought it from the Hasidim.
I got it. I didn't have to wait for it to come for a week or whatever. Then all of a sudden on Wednesday I'm at home and it comes in it shows up, and I said to the guy postman who handed it to me, "What happened here?" He said, "Oh, it wound up in another lobby." I said, "Well, it wasn't there the other day." They said, "Probably it went to some other address, and then it got sent over here finally and wound up in the lobby on Building 1." And it was a mess, but I managed to called them. They said ship it back as soon as we get it, which they're going to get it on Monday. We'll return the money to your account, and then I can call Amex and say give me back my rewards points. But that's not the end of the story. So I've got this thing. It's JTAP is the name of the company, if I'm not mistaken. QNAP. I get it. This is a mystery world to me, as you know, but somehow I managed to get it up and running. But then I had a problem where I got rid of a folder, at least on the machine, but it wouldn't go away on my various things like my TV sets. The folder was still there, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. So I wrote a little note to the company. How do I get rid of this thing? And a guy, I guess in China with the company, started communicating with me and say, tell me how the problem is. How did this happen? How did that happen? Let me get back to you in a day or so. Let me play around with this and figure out what happened. He then gets a hold of me. He says, here, go do this, do that. I will go on to the machine. I will get rid of that folder for you. And I mean, he must have spent a lot of time on me. A guy only spent $279 with his company.
Now you must send me $300 in Bitcoin, or else all of your.
No, I mean, it was the best, literally the best thing I've ever seen any company do. This little company, he just, I'm this little pissant guy. I'm sure they've got corporate accounts, and he was there to take care of it for me, and I was very appreciative of that. I mean, that's cool. I came back. He played around with some thing. He went on to the thing and played with it or whatever, and all of a sudden it's no longer up on my
I got a guarantee for Gabnet. If you don't like the show, you'll give us our 2 hours back.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Jason, you had your hand up, but I had the same situation. Yeah, go ahead.
So here's where, because you actually just did a recap and a spoiler, thanks for where I left off and the shows. Why not, someday when you're in a good, positive point of view and mindset, go down to the post office and say, hey, this is a problem I've been experiencing. Is there some type of solution that we can work out together? Because didn't you say you live a block away?
Well, I worked the problem out with Amazon.
You have an AK-47?
Wait a minute.
You live a block away. Maybe if you get a P.O. box and have your stuff delivered there and you pick it up.
I worked the problem out. I've worked it out. I got a hold of Amazon a long time ago, and they put me on a list where I am not to have anything shipped to me by USPS.
Yeah,
but what happened? No, this was a
third. They put you on the shit list.
No, no, they don't. I get all my stuff from UPS and FedEx. I do not get anything via the post office.
Amazon
wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying, Phil. What happened?
Another gabapentin.
What happened here was that they had a third party who to send it cheaply went by UPS on the first leg, but as soon as it got to New York, it was handed off to USPS. Now, if it were just coming through Amazon, I would have been fine. It would have been no problem. I would have gotten it very nicely, you know. But it's you know, the post office is so fucked. I can't believe it, you know. So thank God
I'll
they're
just
not.
say I've never had a problem with the post office.
Yeah, well, but you don't live in Harlem, you know.
Oh, that was your first mistake.
Yes, Patrick.
You know, with that beard, he looks a little like a terrorist, so he probably doesn't have a problem with the post office. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Patrick.
My issue is with FedEx and UPS, not the Postal Service. Because when they come to my door, like if most of the shit that I get, I want signature anyway, because I don't want some idiot picking it off the porch, you know. Yeah. And I live in a good area, but there's still assholes out there. So a lot of the stuff I get is signature, but I've got to put a note on my fucking door to say, give me at least 2 minutes to get to the door, because I'm in a wheelchair. I'm on the other end of my place. I need time to get there.
Right.
And these idiots, they'll ring the doorbell once, and I can see them sprinting away. You know, they don't want to wait for anything. And like, what? But then the post office, they know me. The gal that delivers 90% of the time, unless she's on vacation, she knows me. So if there's something that needs a signature or something, she waits. So you know.
Okay, let me give you a hint about our post office. I called them on this deal, and I said I've got a problem. She says, "Do you have the ID number?" And I said, "Well, I have the UPS number." And she says, "You have to have the ID number." And then I said to her, she said, and plus the fact that when one of our postal people went over a few weeks ago, somebody said, "What are you doing in our building?" Didn't you know? And they were very nasty to our postman, so we don't like to deliver there anymore. I said, "What?"
800 units.
I said, "What?" I said, "What part about neither rain nor sleet nor dark of night will stop you from your rounds? Don't you understand?"
But not in Harlem.
It's the union.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard that, I went, "You're not going to deliver to my building because some woman asked what he was doing there?" You know, I mean, just amazing.
No uniform?
Who knows? I don't know.
Don't the post office people wear a uniform with an American flag and all sorts of other stuff?
But it was a bizarre journey trying to find this package. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, when I'd given up on it completely, here comes the postman saying, "Oh, look what I've got for you. Look what I found over in Lobby 1." And I'm going, Jesus. It was like a week later.
I made a mistake. I once sent you something, and I put I put an L and not an I.
And it wound up in another building.
And it went to the other building.
Yeah, but somebody over there knew and came over here. Otherwise, I would have never found it.
That was the computer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, in this case, what happened was the people who shipped it to me, for some reason, left off the apartment number. But that's fine. So you leave it in one of the lobbies, and somehow it will eventually get to me, because the super will see it or whatever. I looked in all the lobbies. It never got to this building. It was never delivered here, you know. And I've read that the post office, a lot of complaints about the post office, about people not delivering packages, just deciding it's too late and they dump them off in a garbage can, you know, things like that. So, you know.
Well, they don't ring the bell or knock on the door at my apartment when Amazon delivers something. The only time I know that there's something there is the dog makes a beeline for the door if somebody was there, and it goes. And
it's got to get one of those video doorbells.
I see them on my ring. I see the postman put this thing on my steps nicely. Right. I see the Amazon and the FedEx people throw it. The UPS guy's usually pretty good too. But
did you notice how fast a certain Amazon service went away, though? Remember the one they were going to start where you put in a certain thing like a ring or whatever, and they
open the door.
The Amazon guy can open, or UPS can open the door. Okay,
that went away.
They get a one-time code or something.
Yeah, I think it's done. They did
I
away
didn't know
with
that. I didn't
they
know
did away with that. Too many complaints about people.
Did they do away with the drone? Weren't they going to deliver by drone also?
That's the future.
Never were able to.
Yeah. That's the future if they ever. That's their want. I don't know that they'll ever. It's like I don't think we're going to have self-driving cars as soon as people think either. So
yeah, they want to deliver with self-driving cars too.
We're not going to.
We'll see about that.
By the way, is the post office are they getting paid during this?
Yeah, they're not. They are.
They have a separate budget. They aren't part of the federal budget.
Oh, because they're self-sustaining, is what they are. Yeah. Okay. All right. So who isn't getting paid? Oh yeah.
TSA has been getting paid.
TSA.
I want to see. I got to go to Washington next week. I want to see how they're going to treat me going through the line now that they're not getting paid.
Yeah.
You know,
I got to go the end of the month. I have to fly.
Yeah. All they can do now is steal your shit. So, out of your bag. Well, and I think a lot more stuff is going to get stolen now that they're not getting paid.
Border Patrol is not getting paid, and then all of the
by the way,
judges,
the courts that handle the courts that handle immigration are all closed.
The IRS. I had to call the IRS, and I got a recording that said it's not available at this time.
Yep. And the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they'll get the money eventually.
But that's not go to work every day. Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I'm self-employed.
Sometimes I go to work a long time before I see.
But you have become accustomed to that.
Right.
Because that's the way your business runs, so you make sure you have a little money in the bank so that if this happens, you can see yourself through those times. These people didn't expect that. These are civil servants. They expect a paycheck every couple of weeks, right?
That's why they took civil service jobs. They get paid less, but they get be there forever.
The border guards and the ones who work the border, those agents.
Do you see there's a hand up, Phil? Phil, do you see there's a hand up?
Yeah, he's in Detroit. He's always got his hands up. Don't shoot.
Anyway, yes, Jason.
So I know, Phil, you're pro-wall, right?
Yeah, sure.
Now, do you know what that's going to do to the ecology? That's actually going to make species go extinct?
Yeah.
Are you still for it? You're still good. Even though I think even the monarch butterfly will go extinct.
Why?
They're not going to fly over the wall.
Wait a minute. There are monarch butterflies all the way up here in northern Virginia. How could that be?
But they go back to Mexico every year.
Do they?
They migrate.
Yes, those little friggin' things can fly that far?
Yes. Every year they go back to Mexico.
Do they have a visa? They're illegal monarchs.
They're bringing in those that's how the drugs are getting in.
Yeah.
Not by, and then they use this cop killer guy too, who, string him up, but he's driving a vehicle. He probably came through a legal port of entry. That's how people are coming over. That's how the majority of the drugs are coming over are through legal ports of entries.
The guy who killed the cop was arrested for drunk driving twice, and they never and he was an illegal alien. They never reported him to ICE. If he would have been deported, the other immigrant that he killed
woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Oh yeah,
woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yes,
Patrick. How did he
Patrick.
come into the country, Phil? Did he cross the border like jumping a part of a non-fenced area, or did he just drive through saying, "Hey, I'm coming in and I'm here on a visa"? He probably did the latter. Came in through a legal port of entry, like the majority of illegals come in. They come in through a legal port of entry and overstay their visa. They're not jumping a wall. They're not crossing the desert. It's such a small minority of people.
Do you know how the guy got in?
I'd like to hear from Patrick, who's had his hand up for the last 5 minutes.
He likes his hand there.
Something Jason said made my brain
I know where Patrick is going.
kind of fall out of my head.
Make your fucking mind blow up again?
Yeah, I need some clarification. How is a wall gonna eliminate monarchs when they can fly, and they can fly over other barriers that are natural barriers there, not walls? How in the fuck?
I was watching a thing on YouTube that was done by scientists.
You saw it on YouTube, so it must be true.
It was done by scientists from the University of Texas that was talking about animals.
Climate change.
Yeah,
well, there are coyotes and things like
it was
that.
51 degrees here in Detroit today. It should be like 32.
You should bless Donald Trump that you can walk outside
anyway,
with a sweater.
They're saying that a lot of animals, because I guess on some fences they'll actually leave a 4-inch gap at the bottom of it to let animals cross back and forth, but they'll decide not to do it because they see the barrier and they see it as a threat to them, and they're not going to put themselves in a smaller area. And even flying species like butterflies will decide, because they're usually a low-flying species, I'm not going to go over this.
Rats.
So
why
can't
why
do they have to go? Why do they have to go to Mexico? Why can't they just hang out on our side of the wall? I mean, I'm not for the wall, but I'm just questioning this because I knew Patrick was going there, and I saw the look on his face.
Why do Canadian geese fly south every year?
Because they want to get out of Canada.
They got health care.
It's just it's what animal does. You know, there
are migration patterns.
200 or 2,000 different species that it's going to affect.
I mean,
Jason, the geese fly south so that they can shit on my car. You know?
Yeah. Yes, Rob.
So I heard an interesting point today. Did anybody watch Trump's little speech this afternoon in the Rose Garden, where he talked about all of the craziness that's going on? And
saw a little bit of it.
Yeah. Well, now he's talking that he wants to build a steel wall.
Works.
He wants it to be steel, and he wants it to be American steel. And you know
beautiful steel.
You know why he wants it to be American steel?
Why?
Because where are all the steel plants in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in all the states that he needs to win? He's going to give them $5 billion for re-election in 2020. That's what this guy is all about. He needs to carry those states. So now he says, well, you know, and he's trying to say, well, it's going to be more expensive if we do it in steel, but this is what the Democrats want.
Actually, they said it was cheaper than concrete.
No. He said it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I watched him today.
He says, yeah, I know, and he threw in, yeah, I know about building stuff.
Oh, he knows more about everything than anybody. You just fill
every quarter mile. There's going to be a gold T on that wall.
Think about that. Now he's talking. He's abandoning concrete, like he originally said in his campaign promise. Now he wants to make it steel because he knows he's going to give this nice big bump of money to these states who he needs to reelect him.
But steel is faster to, you know, all they got to do is pile drive it.
Maybe Halliburton pulled out.
I think Trump needs to be pile driven.
Well, you know, even if it's concrete, they use steel to, for the forms and everything, and the rebar and the things that go between each panel.
I really hate what that new the freshman Democratic Congresswoman said about we're going to
Michigan,
the motherfucker. I hate that. I think that's stupid. I think that needs to stop.
Hey, but you got to remember, she's from fucking Detroit too. So.
I don't care. That's hard.
That's the way we talk. What's the big deal? Trump has said so much worse than that. What is he talking about? You should fire that motherfucker. Talking about a football player taking a knee.
Two wrongs don't make a right. We don't we don't.
Yeah, I think that's being, you know, I'm sorry to put it this way, but that's being a liberal pussy.
No,
you can't say we're going to impeach the motherfucker, and that makes the news. I want to impeach the motherfucker. That makes the news. Come on.
Wait a minute. But you know what made the news today, and it was amazing how irate certain people got over this particular thing.
The dancing.
They didn't get it right over poisoning the water of Flint and not doing anything about it.
Well, what they got all heated over,
right over that.
There's a new representative in Congress. Her name is Rashada Tlaib.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah. And she said about Donald Trump, we're going to go in and impeach the motherfucker. And I heard.
First of all, she doesn't speak for the Democratic Party because she's not part of the. She's not the leadership, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe she'll speak for the Democrats.
She's speaking for herself, but still, You're a fucking congressman. We could say motherfucker, and we're talking here on Gabnet.
And we can say motherfucker. But I saw this one congressman say,
losing our decorum.
How could she use words like that? And I'm thinking to myself,
that's why,
what? Why is this? She just said motherfucker.
That's
Grow
why
up.
Democrats are losing.
He's
That's
the
why
president
Democrats
of the
are
United States.
Democrats
Get
need
over
to
it.
grow some balls and be the hardcore motherfucker swinging the fucking
He's a motherfucker, and I'll add to that cocksucker. Okay.
The Republicans won and the Democrats lost. Get over it already.
Well,
You know?
hey, the Democrats won in Congress and the Republicans lost. Get over it, Phil.
No, we'll see how badly they lost. I don't think Nancy Pelosi, with all her blunder and pomp, is going to be
with all her blunder and pomp. What is that? A blunder and pomp?
Bluster. Thank you. I don't think she's going to get anything accomplished, and I think that Trump is going to stand up to her. She's finally met her match. Bush was a gentleman and wouldn't do to her the things that Trump is going to do.
What's he going to do? Grab her by the
pussy? He's going to stand up. He's going to stand up, and he's going to keep his word, and he's not going to back down.
Wait a minute. He broke his word already on this wall.
Hey, I just wanted
he broke the wall. No, he broke his word on
the wall.
He said that Mexico would pay for the wall.
Eventually,
that was
Mexico will pay.
No, he said Mexico would pay for the wall. What?
You know what's going to happen?
Is he going to reimburse the American public when he gets the $5 billion from Mexico? Oh.
What he says is when the Mexicans want to send money out of the country to Mexico, there's going to be a charge on that. And that charge, because there's billions and billions of dollars that go from the United States to Mexico, and so if they put a charge on that, that'll pay.
He can just do that by snapping his finger, right?
By what do they call it? Not
executive order. I don't think so.
No.
Well.
No, you can't take people's money.
Hey, the Democrats will go
He said today, wait a minute, hold on a second, Jason. I'll go to Jason next. He said today that he was going to build the wall by declaring a national emergency. Yeah. Now, before you can call something a national emergency, there actually has to be a national emergency.
Yeah. You know, they're coming over, they're bringing drugs, they're killing our cops.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to sell that one.
Hey, so let me get back to my point that I was trying to say earlier, because now this is going way back reach. Just want to let you know, Rob, governor for Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, her tagline in all of her ads were, "We need to fix the damn roads," and she'd always concentrate that damn roads.
That's fine. So, damn.
Motherfucker
is not.
Why? It's a word, and that's where.
I'm sorry.
It's a word, and that's where maybe it's a generational
cross the line.
And that's where it's a generational issue, and maybe my generation is starting to take over, and your generation needs to kind of take a step back. If you have the same ideals that we have.
How old do you think we are?
Phil, you are old enough to be my dad, the exact same age. So that's how old you are.
Yes, Patrick.
Motherfucker.
Patrick.
He's gross.
I think the impeachment thing, whether or not she said motherfucker or flowers or whatever, I think the impeachment thing for the Democrats is akin to the wall thing for Trump. Neither is going to happen. Meaning that maybe they'll impeach him, but I think Miss Motherfucker is forgetting one little thing. The Senate. Yeah. So she can impeach all she wants, and she can masturbate all over the paperwork. He got impeached, and that other bitch that was dancing, and all it is. And we impeached him, yay. Well, Clinton got impeached too, and guess what?
Right. It cost them. It cost the Republicans politically.
Yeah. Exactly. Nancy Pelosi only got elected by two votes in the House, and I think the House is very fractured, and that I don't see them being able to get enough to do an impeachment vote. I really don't.
I hope
they
till the
don't.
Mueller report comes out.
I hope they don't.
Depends on what Mueller finds.
You know,
it's less than 2 years. To
You
the
also
election.
forget that once it gets to the Senate, you're
Yes.
forgetting a wild card that just got into
Romney.
the Senate named Mitt Romney.
Well, Romney is one person.
No,
And you know what?
no,
He-
but
he-
that's
he
one
would
more
never
vote in the
vote for
Senate
that.
than
Don't
we
say
would
that.
normally have when it comes to impeachment. Okay.
But, you know, that's the thing. Maybe she should have said, "Let's wait till the Mueller report comes out, and if it comes out on our side, let's impeach the motherfucker."
And that's what the Democratic,
Pelosi.
like
If the
say.
Mueller report comes out and it
She
does,
said we shouldn't impeach for politics, and we shouldn't
Exactly.
be afraid to impeach. We shouldn't be afraid, and we shouldn't do it. We need to wait for Mueller to come out and make a decision based
Now,
on that.
what happens if the Mueller
think that's a
report
good-
exonerates Trump?
well, then it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
all over.
exonerates.
No,
Then it's over.
it's
saying
over.
It's over.
It's over, Phil.
Exonerates
So
means
we're not like the Republicans.
Now,
Exonerates means
Phil,
not
Phil,
guilty.
what do you think the
God,
chances
we
are?
know, Phil,
What do you
we
think?
understand English.
What do you
we know
think?
we can say nuclear, not nuclear.
Let me ask you this, Phil. What do you think are the chances that it will exonerate him?
I think they're pretty good.
Everybody
Living in-
else is going to jail,
Cheers.
but not him. Huh?
Cheers, Phil. Cheers.
Yeah. I think we need to have a drink on that.
I don't think that they're going to say that he did anything. I don't think he had a hand in it. Now, maybe some of the people around him are going down for it,
How
but
about
I think
if
he's
his
clean.
kids are?
I think they were bystanders. They weren't sophisticated enough at that time.
How about they were getting the phone calls from the
Hey,
his son.
people can call. Hey, comrade.
At the meeting.
Comrade, I want to have a meeting
If
about
you
adopting children.
If you no, it wasn't about adopting children. You specifically say, I had a meeting with the Russians to try to get dirt on Hillary.
He had a meeting with a spy.
Said that specifically.
But
He
had
met
a
with the Russians to get dirt on Hillary. Come on,
That-
that's
Hey,
that's
and
collusion.
if Hillary paid to have a phony dossier to
was a
get dirt
phony.
on Trump.
And it was
Everything
English.
in that dossier has been proven true. Nothing's been proven
Nothing
false.
in that dossier has been proven
Oh,
true.
Benghazi.
It is a phony
Benghazi.
thing.
And then one thing that's been
And
proven
that
false.
is the
yet.
collusion.
Wait a minute, Charlie. What?
So there's not one thing in that dossier that's been proven false yet. Some things haven't been proven
You
true
can't-
yet, but there's no everything that has been
Prove a negative.
proven one way or the other has been proven true.
Hey, if you accuse somebody, you can't prove a negative like that. When somebody accuses you of something that's false, where are you going to get the proof that it isn't false?
What are you talking about, Hillary?
No, we're talking about Hillary's
I think you're talking about
accusation
Hillary.
of Trump. We already know that Hillary is the one behind it. You know?
So
Hillary wasn't
Patrick's
behind
got his
anything.
hand up.
Hillary and the DNC, they fucked your guy Bernie Sanders with the super delegates. Then they try to deal with Trump by coming up with a phony dossier and a phony investigation to try to nullify his time in office.
Phil, don't you really think? And then we'll go to because Patrick has his hand up, and then Jeff. Okay, let's be honest. Trump's a creep.
Well, you may not like the guy.
No, we didn't like him here in New York when he
traitor.
wasn't running for president.
That's not true. How can you say he's a traitor?
I
He
can
hasn't
say
been-
that because he does whatever Putin tells him to do.
But you
Pull
don't
out
know that
Syria.
for a fact. That's about as
Bullshit.
justified
And how about
as the dossier.
And how about
told
his
him to pull out of
sucking
Syria.
up to the Saudis, sucking up to the Saudis, and
That's why
He didn't want to go into Syria. What are you warmongers on the left? You all warmongers. You know there isn't a war that you don't want to get into. Now,
We didn't
you're
want to go
wearing
into
your true
Iraq.
colors.
Projection.
We went
Hey,
into Iraq and
projection.
caused all this shit in the first place.
Did you want Vietnam? Did
how
you want
about him cozying up to the Saudis in the light of this murder that went
Yeah,
on?
he murders
Hey,
Khashoggi or whatever his name is, and
You know, that's it's another whataboutism from Alex.
It's not a whataboutism.
Yeah, how about the Saudis?
No. I mean, what do you have to say about that? He cozies up to dictators and he hates freedom fighters.
He loves Kim Jong-un.
You keep your friends close and you keep your enemies closer. And you're not going to get anywhere with these guys.
No, hey, that line is from The Godfather, and the Mafia says that.
Yeah, well, they were right. But you know, who is it, that actor that moved to Russia with the one with the ponytail?
Van Damme.
No,
Seagal.
Seagal.
Yeah.
And, you know, Seagal was on the radio today, and I heard him saying that, you know, the stuff that they're talking about Russia is just another smokescreen to try to get at Trump. And he says that the things that they're saying,
you're believing Steven Seagal.
His hand up.
Listen, yes, Patrick.
And I like his movies too.
You know, if all of this was proven true, and if there was enough there, wouldn't there be enough to start impeachment process? I mean, I don't see any of this as legitimate, because if it was, this shit would be rolling already. And
it's not rolling because the Republicans are in control until now.
Yeah, but even
still in control.
If it was legit, the Democrats
only half in control,
and everybody would see it was legit. And even now, like I said, they can do all they want. The woman that was jumping up and down, now we're going to impeach him. She can do all the jumping and whooping and hollering that she wants. They can impeach him, and it's not going to matter.
Patrick, we here are as guilty as every pundit on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, you name it. We're all talking pie in the sky. We don't really know what's happening. Nobody will know until Mueller releases the report. Okay? So we heard tonight, I heard tonight anyway, that he has asked for the federal grand jury to extend the grand jury. There are reasons why he's doing what he's doing. And everybody, Republicans especially, sung this guy's praises, and still people say this guy is as thorough and as straight and by the book as you can be. So until he releases his thing, all we're doing is just postulating.
That's my point, Rob, is when Charlie said it's all been proven, we don't know it's been proven.
No, nothing's been proven.
Out from the report, you can believe what you want, Charlie. I can believe what I want. I don't even like Trump. But the point is, until it comes out in a report, right.
Now, let me ask you this, though, Patrick. Let me ask.
Trump would be doing his damnedest to be disproving it.
Let me ask you this, Patrick, and then we'll get to Jeff.
Something you didn't do.
Patrick, let me ask you this: if the Mueller report comes out, whatever it says, are you ready to believe it?
Well, you know that.
Oh, okay. How about you, Phil?
I supported Trump.
Are you ready to believe
Mueller
it?
report?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, probably. I bet you'll change your tune.
And the reason why is that when he was in San Francisco, he was
he bought some carpet.
No. He was with the attorney's office. I knew a guy that worked for him in that capacity. I forgot what it's 25, 30 years.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, this guy I knew
donated money to the police fraternal order of police.
No, he said that that Mueller was a very straight up guy.
Yeah, Jeff, you've been trying to say something for a while.
Yeah. So Phil, you just said that the guy has a good character, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously he's working his job. Okay. He's not falling asleep. He's actually working pretty hard, and he'll come up with whatever the answer is, and we'll take a look for it. But at the same time, we have a president who's a big liar, who can't...
Not lying to me. Everything he said he was going to do, he's doing. Hold on.
Hold on. Well, go ahead.
He often changes the truth. He also is a lousy manager. He's gone through hundreds of people who were theoretically good, terrific people, and nobody can seem to work for this.
And when he tries to
find all these acting guys who have not been vetted by the Senate, and that's another issue. He's got all these people sitting around the table with him who have not been vetted by anybody, by his Senate.
Wait a minute, Rob. According to you, they've been vetted by the Kremlin.
That could be, but they've not been vetted by the Senate, and that's an issue. You got people
and
serving
he's not
in cabinet
rushing
posts who don't belong there.
And he's not rushing to replace those people or to fill those slots permanently either. You know, he's got basically
he
does
can keep them there how long?
Basically, he doesn't
have
an administration, a working administration.
Yeah, and it's the obstructionist Democrats that aren't approving 350 of his appointeves.
You're wrong.
No.
You are 100% wrong. All of these people he's put in
How many judges did they block for Obama?
No, that didn't even have any difference.
And all of these people are not being set up to the Senate. All of these
there's
acting
UN,
people.
there's ambassadors.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about his cabinet. But what about his cabinet? He's got acting this and acting this and acting this.
Does
None
the
of these
man
people
have a right to have a cabinet appointee that agrees and
He
follows
does.
his direction?
But he can't find one.
And his agenda.
He can't find one.
That's because originally he looked to the other side of the aisle to get information.
No. Maybe it's because he's got a problem. Maybe because he's got a mental problem. He's got the guy is a problem. There's no question that he's not easy to work with. He's impossible to work with.
So why has Kellyanne Conway been there?
That's a really good question, knowing her husband.
Yeah, well, how could he keep someone like that? Or
isn't she gone?
No, she's not gone. I don't understand why she stays around. She's got to be just like him, but yet she's married to a guy who constantly is on Trump.
Right.
It must be interesting at home for them.
Right. Do you see Trump firing her because of her husband? No. You know. And a lot of
Mattis, he gets rid of Mattis. He gets rid of all of these people that are so well respected.
He had you got Truman, who got rid of MacArthur because Truman didn't want to go into.
I'll give you one. I'll give you two.
Yeah.
But how many are there?
The Mattis situation is entirely different to begin with. MacArthur was a military man, and he had the right to do exactly what he did since he's the commander-in-chief. In this particular case, this is a man he hired and because of his sterling reputation, and it was probably one of the best appointments he made of his administration, and he didn't fire Mattis. Mattis quit on him.
Well, I mean,
right, because Mattis didn't agree. Mattis didn't agree with what he did.
It's not a dictatorship. The United States government is not a dictatorship.
But the buck stops.
No, you know what you've got? Let me say this, Phil. You've got in Trump an absolute child.
It's somebody else's fault.
You've got an absolute child who, when he became president, believed that, I'm president. Now I can do anything. I can just wave my hand and pass any law I want to pass, and I can do anything I want to do. And because I'm president, I can get away with it. And that's how he's been running his presidency. It's utter chaos, Phil.
The whole world is wrong, but he's
he
right.
still thinks the attorney general is his attorney general, not the people.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know how the government works.
Nah, your guys are trying to come at me from all sides, but the bottom line is he's getting done what he promised to do.
No, he's not.
You guys don't
no,
like
he's
it.
not.
He's doing everything.
No, he's not. He hasn't.
He's going to build the wall.
He's going to build the wall, and Mexico has.
He's going to build the wall.
But he's coming to us for the money.
Huh?
And who's going to pay for the wall? How many times did he say that? That's
the Mexicans. But we're the bank.
He's going to pay for them or they're going to pay for it because I'm going to spank them.
Yeah, and if I win for president, I'm going to lock Hillary up.
He's a con man.
Yeah, no, he said originally he wasn't going to lock Hillary up, and
took office.
But you guys, you don't like it. Today in the Congo, and I think the Belgian Congo, they're killing each other. that is a corrupt government. You want to look at a corrupt government? You look at the Belgian Congo.
Hey, listen, I don't live in the Belgian. Hey, I don't
world.
live in the fucking Belgian Congo. I live here, and I'm looking at my corrupt government.
Yeah, well, I don't think our government is corrupt except for the Democrats that are obstructing
Trump
in the
campaigned on
House.
going after Wall Street and the banks, and he did the exact opposite.
Phil, what you call obstruction, is the political ebb and flow in this country. That, yes, the other party is always on certain levels going to be an obstructionist because their job is to get their point across and to try and keep you from getting yours across. So there's nothing wrong with them trying to obstruct Trump. And I think, quite frankly, if somebody had a bullet, they should shoot him in the foot to slow him down.
And you really think we should shut down our government over a border wall?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You have no...
Shit.
Yeah, well, good, Phil. Good, Phil. And tell that to the kids who didn't have a Christmas this year because their parents didn't have money coming in.
You have no empathy for common workers, which, of course, he said he was for the working man.
No, I have empathy, but I don't have sympathy.
No.
Well, empathy and sympathy are the same thing, Phil.
No, they are not the same thing. If sympathy is when you're part of the problem, empathy is when you understand the problem.
No, sympathy is when you sympathize with somebody's plight.
That's
Patrick.
But
yes, Phil.
No. It's like when you're a cop.
Phil.
When you're a cop, you're an enemy of the people.
Look
yes,
up the difference
Patrick.
between sympathy and empathy.
Patrick.
One of the points that was made on conservative talk radio here in Milwaukee this morning, talking about the shutdown, was what is an acceptable amount of time for a worker who has a family to be without a paycheck? What is that threshold that...
Well, so far, it's 4 days.
Hey, he's still talking, Phil.
But the thing is, Phil, it's people have mortgages, people...
Phil.
Wait a minute, Phil. Just hang on. Remember, you and I are on the same side, but you see things a little differently, so just chill. Chill out and let me
chill, Phil.
All
okay,
right.
You do know that they got their last paycheck.
But they have car payment, they have house payment. These are things that come up. And the thing is, not everybody prepares for that rainy day because not everybody makes enough money. Or, as you've admitted, or any number of us, we spent money beyond our means at some point, and then you're kicking yourself going, well, what the fuck? Well, these same people are not necessarily the higher up. They're just the bottom rung workers or regular workers. And there is a point at which you've got to say, enough is enough. People need that money because if they start defaulting on their mortgages, who pays for that?
Yeah.
On their car payment.
Obama's closure was 16 days. It's only been approximately 4 days.
13 days.
16. It's only been approximately
13 days. The clock has been running. The government shut down
right now. Obama's closure of the government was 16 days. Right, during Obama's term. And let me just say that it's only been a couple of days since they haven't gotten their paycheck.
Phil.
This
is a guy who today, when somebody said, "What about those people who aren't going to be able to pay their rent?" He says, "Oh, well, those landlords will see them through this." Well, you go and ask some of the people who lived in Trump properties whether they saw them through not paying.
What did Marie Antoinette say?
What?
Give
them
their head cake.
No, let them eat cake.
Oh. Yeah, well, the fact is that the Trumps were very famous for evicting people fast. Okay, so fuck
him. You know what
him.
he said today in the Rose Garden? He said, "Oh, I know that all these people who are affected by this, they would say, Trump, you're doing the right thing. I know that it's bigger than my."
Also, did you hear his other remark? The remark that most of the people most of the people that are not getting a paycheck are Democrats. Did you hear that one? Yes. First of all, let's go to Jason, and then let's go to our host of our other show, Jack Bishop.
Alex.
Wait a minute. No, Phil, shut up, and let these people talk. Let these people talk. Okay.
You're saying that they got their last paycheck. Yes, they got their last paycheck, and that's the whole point of living paycheck to paycheck. They might not get their paycheck today. That is supposed to be due every 2 weeks. They got their last paycheck from before the government was shut down. But my main point is, I think there maybe should be a constitutional amendment. I don't care who's in charge. If the government shut down for more than a month, all the motherfuckers who were voted in should be fired and start over, regroup, new government.
Good idea.
Jack? Congress shouldn't be getting paid either.
Right.
Right.
That would be a constitutional amendment. If they shut down the fucking government, they don't get their checks.
Because they can still do a 2/3 majority, right? To override his veto and open up the government?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Senate.
Jack has been wanting to say something here, folks. Yes,
One
Jack.
of the things that's not being talked about outside of the people that work for the federal government, there are contractors who depend upon the money that's not being paid to them to pay their employees. And here's the thing. The government workers will eventually not only be paid, but the money that they weren't paid, they will be compensated for.
Did you get your cabinet paycheck?
Do the people who are on retirement get their retirement checks during this?
Yeah,
Government?
yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing that's not talked about. This shutdown, as all shutdowns, only affects the departments and services and programs that are budgeted on an annual basis. Ongoing things like Medicare, like Social Security, they are going to be covered. But think about this. You got a lot of folks that work for the federal government secondhand.
How about the people, though, that send out the Medicare checks?
You mean
there's 830,000 furloughed employees.
Yeah,
you mean folks that work for the Social Security Administration, Alex?
Yeah.
I think they're still working too because the checks go out.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still working because their budget is guaranteed as an ongoing federal expense. But programs that have to be budgeted
by the year, I see. Yeah. Okay.
By the year, those are the guys that are getting hurt. But set those aside because they're going to get their money. It's the guy that's working for a defense contractor.
Yeah.
He's not going to get his money.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Living here in D.C., I don't feel as bad for some of those people, and the reason is because what I've learned in the D.C. area here is that so many of them are retired federal people who retired like at 40 and went back and double and triple dip into the government.
But you're talking about folks who are a little farther up the feeding chain.
Maybe.
And the guy that's working at, say, let me think of a company here. There's an airplane manufacturing plant here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Cessna?
I said airplane. I didn't say puddle jumper.
Lear?
Where is it? I thought they were down there.
No, Lear is not here, and neither is Cessna. Cessna is in, I want to say, Missouri.
Lear's in Michigan, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, the bottom line is, we build stuff right here in my area for the federal government. And those folks are not going to be compensated for the time that they're being forced out of work. You know, it's rather interesting that a lot of these companies are sending out things to tell their folks how to get governmental subsidies to pay for what they aren't being paid.
Guess what? When it's raining and no customers are coming in, I don't make any money.
We don't give a shit about rugs.
Yeah. What does it have to do with the size, with any of this? You're an entrepreneur.
Well, and so are those people.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Those contractors are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, but what about
the contractors may be entrepreneurs, but the people who work for them aren't.
Well,
and the workers did not.
Do you think that company is not going to pay their salaries because they're not getting paid by the government?
It could well be.
They don't have banks and lines of credit to pay these
Maybe
things?
not.
Well,
no, you don't know that. You don't know that.
You don't know that, Phil. You're making assumptions.
We would hope so, but I know you entrepreneurs because I've worked for several of you bastards. And if you can figure out a way to The smartest man I ever met, who was a guy that was a janitor, said there's one thing that rich people can always agree on, and that's how to screw a working man out of another dollar.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think that's the way it works. Not if you want to keep your people.
Then when was the last time you worked for somebody other than Phil Meyer?
Nobody'd hire me.
Well, I can understand that. But when was the last time that you worked for somebody other than Phil Meyer? When was the last time you had to go to somebody and say, gee, I'm not making it, I need a raise?
Well, I've always been in sales, so if I needed a raise, I just had to sell more.
I work for the people every day.
We're not talking about that, Phil. We're
talking
about
how to sell more.
No, I mean, you could ask the same question of Donald Trump. When's the last time he was employed by somebody? Actually, being president is the first time he has been employed by somebody.
That's right. That's
and
true.
He's not taking the
so
money.
True. And he's not taking it well.
Phil,
no, he doesn't take any money.
It took me 40.
Yes, he does. He takes $1
from the Russians to get to a position in broadcasting where I could raise my own salary. And you know what I had to do to keep that company afloat? I had to lower my salary. Because the guy that was the entrepreneur said, hey, Jack, I can't afford any more money in this because this is interfering with us building the lake house.
Well, hey, that's the way it works. Sometimes I don't get to take a salary, or I write myself a check and I can't cash it.
But you chose that. You chose that lifestyle. You chose that option.
I couldn't be an entrepreneur. Yeah. I just couldn't. I don't have that in me.
I
need to work for somebody.
I couldn't take the stress. Donna was complaining about my credit card statement the other day, and I said, well, I guess I just got to make some more money. I guess I'll have to become an entrepreneur. Give me a squeeze bottle and some paper towels at a good street corner.
Yeah.
See you at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Well, be a little more environmentally friendly and get a squeegee.
Just for ShamWow.
Just for you, I'll get a squeegee, but I expect a better tip than you gave us the last time.
Not a problem.
He won't give you a tip. He'll give you the whole thing.
Yeah, it's in the mail.
Oh boy. Well, this is it's a mess right now. Yes, Jeff.
Well, I think what Phil's saying about being an entrepreneur is a lot different, and in a certain way, when you take a government job, whether you're a contractor or not, you're expecting a certain amount of guaranteed.
That's exactly right.
Security.
My mother worked for the federal government her whole life, and she preached to me, get a job with the federal government. You'll always have a job. You'll always earn a salary.
Yeah.
And you'll have great benefits, and you'll have retirement. And I didn't do that because I wanted more than what the federal government was going to give me. Now, when I look back on it, I think, gee, the pension would have been nice. The benefits would have been nice.
But it also
depends. You should have saved for rainy day.
But you see what he's doing to these people who think that way, right? Right? These people went to work knowing that they had this, right? And he's fucking with that.
And has
no, the Democrats are fucking with it.
No, he said it straight up. I am proud to shut down the government.
Right.
Yeah. So he's taking responsibility for it, Phil.
The government open, and he refused to sign it.
He didn't refuse to sign it. He said he would sign it until Sean Hannity or the other one said, Laura Ingraham, whomever said, well, he's giving in. He changed his tune.
Hey, well, listen, on a really sad note, I heard today that Brian Dunkelman, you remember Brian Dunkelman? He was the co-host of American Idol when it first went on the air with Ryan Seacrest, and he left after the first year, is driving an Uber. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that to close off the show. Hey, listen,
so could all of those other people in Washington.
Listen. Okay, all right, enough is enough. Cool it. Anyway, we'll be back again. On Tuesday, unless I get a bad report from my from the lab. In which case, I won't be here. I'll be too depressed to do a show. But anyway. Thank you very much to Charlie for being here, and every day this week, Charlie. God, this is wonderful. I love having you here. Phil Meyer, thank you, Jason. Always a pleasure when the old lady lets you get out. Jeff Stein, thank you. Rob Alfano, wonderful. And Patrick, of course, what can I say? Where's Kevin this week? I'm a little worried about him, and we haven't heard from our friend in Hawaii in a couple of weeks. So I don't know. Where is everybody? Hopefully they'll be fine. What are you saying? What?
I thought Kevin was going to have that thing implanted permanently right now.
Might be. That might be what's going on. I don't know. But anyway, everybody, a good wave goodbye would be nice from all of you, okay? And I'll wave back, and they'll all wave back, and we'll all wave. Let me hang up here so that Jack Bishop can use the phone next on the Skype line next on GabNet. He comes up next with the intersection. I will be back here again on Tuesday night if all things go okay. In the meantime, that's be right after what's his name? Damian Chaplin does the exchange at 10 o'clock. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, I tell you, and I'll say it over and over again, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice weekend.